So anyhow, to let you know, this is just showing you our garden in winter, which is looking rather bereft because we've had caterpillar invasions and some of the creepers are only just starting to grow back, and we've seen the last of the caterpillars. I've done a tour of the garden this morning and I think this is the last of the caterpillars, but like we were literally picking out 20, 30 at a time, and that was just going on and on and on. I didn't want to use chemicals, but I've since found that I can use Dipel, which is certified organic, and next year I'm going to say, look, I'm not going to be kind to them, I'm going to kill them, but it's organic, so I can kill them organically, which I'm quite happy with. So our trip a couple of weeks ago was to and I'll just tour around so you can see a bit of the garden. So this is really looking at its absolute worst, like towards the very start of spring, which really for our garden it's more of a, you know, looking good at more like November. So September, October, it's looking at its absolute worst. So we went up to the Gold Coast, which is in Queensland in Australia, and they have a subtropical climate, and even in winter it's relatively mild. I stayed at a place that had a beautiful balcony view straight over the ocean. It was really lovely, and what we discovered on about the second day we were there, I think it was, that they do the beach near us, which is in view of our balcony, they're tandem parachute jumpers that actually we discovered the first morning we were there. We just suddenly saw one just jumping past our balcony. So I think they go from about 10,000 feet, and they land in the beach not that far from where our balcony was. So I taped a few of those, and some of the audio is really bad, which I apologise for. So we did the road trip. We went to Byron Bay. So where we were staying was near Coolangatta, which is very close to New South Wales. Like, you're literally talking about 5 minutes or even less over to the border. And then we did a little road trip. We got a hire car, went to a place called Kingscliff. We wanted to check it out. So supposed to be a little sleepy country town. It was quite, but a seaside town. That was nice. And then made our way to Byron Bay, and I don't show any of the town itself. We did a bit of a walk around that along the coast. There's quite a few coastal walks, but in all, Byron Bay was a madhouse as far as busy parking. They've got parking meters everywhere, but once you got away from the hustle and bustle, it was really nice and really attractive. And the coastal walk, we only did a few parts of the coastal walk that you'll see in the video. It was really lovely. So sit back and enjoy a little taste of a very tiny taste of our holiday that we had up in Queensland a few weeks ago. So this is early morning on our balcony. This is Kira, a place called Pure Kira on the Gold Coast, and most of the noise you can hear is cars. There's a main road down there. We're on the 7th floor. It's a surfers paradise. You can barely see it there. So zooming in, now you can start seeing a few buildings there. So the sun's now up and it's quite glary looking straight into it. We've got one little wave skier and one surfer there, but there's nothing for them to use. And yesterday we also we were walking towards this direction up. We didn't get anywhere near the Surfers Paradise, but I don't know if you can see there's a plane coming into land. The airport's not very far away from us. Anyhow, 2 dolphins were surfing the waves, and they were also swimming in the same direction as we were, but then they'd stop to surf waves. So we were walking with them for about half an hour, and we just saw them do this constantly. See how low that plane's coming in? airport's not very far away from us at all. Looks like they're going to, and it disappears just about. Now can start to see other activity as well. So just zooming back again, and we're planning our day's activities. So there's definitely a lot of interest down on the beach. Got 3 people down there that are friends or relatives of the brave person doing the tandem jump, and a lot later in the day, so the traffic noise is really quite big. And John can see them. There you go.
Look, hold you. Look, there, look.
Oh, very gentle. Gosh, that was well done. And again, a little bit further over this one, might have to do a bit of adjustment. Look nice and slow, really slowing it right down. Oh, a little bit of a thingo at the end. And down. Oh, very nicely touched down. A little bit of a run on the end, probably have to take off a few points for that one. I'd give the first one about a 9 out of 10, second one maybe a 7. So that's 2. We'll see if there's a third one, I don't know. Here comes another parachute. And coming around, doing a bit of adjusting. And nicely landed. Another one coming down. And again, let's see how that one goes. Yeah, nice and easy. Pretty easy when you're tandem, you don't have to. I've seen rough landings before, they seem really, really smooth. Just going to zoom in a little bit. See a bit of activity. So they're just undoing. First lot's already gone off. Today we're off to Byron Bay. So on the walkway, just not far from where we're staying. And it's a shared bike and walkway. Got the main buses going along here. One of those goes all the way along the coast. And over in the distance there, very distant, may not be able to see it much on the camera, is Surfers Paradise with all the big buildings there. Right, so I've got another 10 minutes or so till we get our car. So this is our little hire car, a little Corolla, and we've driven down the road, not very far at all, we thought it was going to be longer, to a place called Kingscliff, sort of a more of a sleepy seaside town, and the Tweed River is quite nearby. So in case you're wondering where we are, we're now in New South Wales, not very far away from Queensland at all. So where we were staying before at Kira, we were literally like 5 minutes drive away from the border. So we've stopped here because we can see some water and hear some surf, and we're going to go for a short walk down and have a look. Wow, that's really nice surf. Now there, it looks like almost like a reef or something out further. There's breaking waves quite a long way offshore. There's a couple of surfers here. Nice wide bay. And fairly white sand, quite attractive. Lots of sun glaring because the sun's pointing straight towards the camera if I point it forward. But look at that, rolling surf. And you can see a bit of the town up further. Just over the top of those trees and shrubs is the beach, and all along the foreshore here at Kingscliff there's lovely parks and walkways. So we've been walking along there for a while. So the pathway ended just a little bit earlier, and down in the river got a few pelicans cruising around, and got some very noisy gorillas over the top of us. So we've just worked out why all these pelicans are hanging around here. Here is a fish cleaning station, and you can see we've got these pipes that go down there, and they're hoping for some scraps. There's no fishermen around, but you know, I guess no harm in hanging around for a while. So it's quite pretty around here, quite different. Completely different to all the buildings and so on of the Gold Coast. These pelicans just look like they're just cruising around, enjoying themselves. So coming back from the river there, walking along the pathway back to our car. So it's a fair way down, probably about just over 1k. So it's a nice little walk for the locals and all the tourists here. And a glimpse of the sea there. Lovely here. Got a walkway up ahead. We've stopped just outside of Pottsville, and little car parks along the main road. It's the Coast Road or the Tweed Road. Great sound. Love the sound of the crashing waves. Wow. And there's just a huge amount of beach around here. So you've got these places you can enter the beach all the way along. It goes for ages. So right at this stage, you're probably thinking, why am I showing you fake water lilies? Just had a technical problem with the video of Byron Bay, so there's no introduction. So I've come back home, and this is the introduction to little coastal walk that we did at Byron Bay. So enjoy, and that'll be the last part of the video vlog. Lovely view out here. Quite a big bay here. Can't quite see along there. There's some trees in the way, but it goes a long way around. We spotted some whales out there. This is Watago Beach. The lighthouse you can see up there, just above that greenery, little white spire. Looking back towards Watago's beach, and now going back to the main part of Byron Bay. As you're walking through, there's also lots of sort of tropical subtropical rainforest. It's still now the noise up ahead, there's a playground here. There's seems like a million kids playing. Yeah, nice, isn't it? Nice and cool here under the shade. And there's a bush turkey going straight across the path. They don't seem scared of us at all. Alright, let's keep going. The last bit, Johnny says. We've still got a long way to go to get back to our car. We've got a bit of an uphill climb now. So you can see around towards the middle of the screen there's a whole bunch of large trees and some various buildings, and that's where we are parked, right towards the end of that. So still got a long way to go, but it's just lovely seeing the big wide expanse of bay. More of the bay, and you've got lots of surfers and people learning to surf down there on the beach. They're receiving a surf lesson. So this is the main beach. You can see the lighthouse in the background, so that's where we were before. A little bit further down the beach. Okay, so if you've been watching the rest of the video, we're back with the fake water lilies, and just letting you know that I had another technical problem with the end of the Byron Bay video, so that's all I'm going to show you. Byron Bay. Hope you enjoyed the whole road trip thing and our little bit of a glimpse of our crappy winter garden, because it really is looking really ordinary, but I can't wait to show you how much better it's going to look when we get the warmer weather. So it's goodbye from Leanne in Adelaide, and got more videos coming up. With the warmer weather coming up, you'll be certainly seeing a lot more from me in the garden, and you haven't seen the front garden. I'm going to show you the front garden down the track, and that's actually looking even half reasonable even now. It's on a busy main road, it's very noisy, but I'll get up early on a Sunday morning when it's quiet, and hopefully I won't get drowned out by the traffic noise. And you'll see it's a very small garden, but it's a different style. It's cottage, it's Mediterranean cottage, it's not tropical, but I hope you will enjoy that. So stick around, subscribe, and come back and visit, because you don't want to miss that tour probably in the next month or so. Bye from Leanne in Adelaide.